2022 has been an amazing year for cozy farming and management sim style games. We finally got to try out highly anticipated games like Coral Island, and we even had great surprises like Disney Dreamlight Valley. What if I were to tell you that 2023 is shaping up to be just as great? I've had my eye on a few of these games for years, anxiously waiting to play them, and they will finally be released in the coming months. Today, I'm going to share the cozy farming and management sim style games that I'm most looking forward to. Starting off, we have Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life, releasing summer 2023 in the West. A remake of one of the most popular games in the series 20 years after the original release. Unlike other games in the series, this game has a larger focus on family and connections to others. You marry one of the 8 candidates and you go through life as you and everyone around you grows older. Watch your child grow from a baby to an adult and see how their life turns out. The farming is your standard fare, but with a very impressive hybrid system where you can create some crazy looking crops in the new art style. Speaking of new art style, the look of the game has been changed to look a bit more cartoony, and it feels a bit similar to the more recent games in the series. Some will like this and others won't, as the original art style was pretty unique and at this point iconic. Another big change is that you can customize how your character looks, and they even included a non-binary option. You're allowed to marry whoever you want. The original game was lacking in events and things to do in general, but good news, it's been revealed that there are over 70 new events, new festivals, and they're even adding a job quest board similar to Story of Seasons: Pioneers of Alltown. This remake looks to be addressing all of the issues I had with the original, and is truly shaping up to be the definitive version of the game. But now more people get to experience it. I can't wait. Following up Story of Seasons, we have the spin-off series Rune Factory. Rune Factory 3 Special, releasing spring 2023, is a remake of one of the most popular games in the series, and the one that really elevated in the eyes of gamers. You play as a young man named Micah, who has a bit of a secret. Micah has no memory, and strangely enough, has the power to change into a sheep monster. No, not that one. After saving a young woman, he ends up in her village and finds himself caught up in a long-standing feud between the monsters and the humans. Their goal is to try and see if there's a way for both to coexist. The Rune Factory games are half farming games and half JRPGs. You can wield all sorts of weapons such as swords, spears, hammers, and even magic to fight your way through dungeons as you progress through the story. There are a ton of monsters in this game, and even some pretty tough bosses. You craft your own weapons, armor, and medicines to help you progress. You even have the option to take the people you meet in town with you into the dungeons to help you fight. And each of these characters have their own skills. You also have the option to recruit monsters you fight and have them join you. There are even cow, sheep, and chicken type monsters that you can take back to your farm for their produce. Graphically, this game is much more pleasant to look at than the original game on the DS. They really smoothed out the look for the better. Even when the original was new, I always felt it was pretty rough, so this is a much welcome change for me. This game has a whopping 11 bachelorettes for you to choose from, with a ton of variety. One big negative about the game though is that there's no playable female character option, and no bachelors, and that does not seem to be changing with the remake. Fae Farm, releasing exclusively on Nintendo Switch in spring 2023, is a fairy tale themed farming game set in the mythical Azoria that is shaping up to be quite magical. The big selling point for this game is the multiplayer features. According to the creative director, this game was inspired by Harvest Moon, Animal Crossing, and surprisingly enough, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. All these games are amazing, but they thought, what if we take these experiences and make them into collaborative ones? Now how cool is that? You can play with up to 4 people in local or online multiplayer. Truly a rarity these days, right? You and your friends share a homestead that you can build up and decorate together so everyone can put a little bit of themselves into your home. When playing with others, you can progress through the game by crafting, sharing recipes, farming, or simply just exploring with your group of friends. Sounds great, right? Well, did I mention there's magic as well? It wouldn't be a fairy tale inspired game without magic. You can use your magic to help you farm or for combat when dungeon crawling with friends. You have the option to spend your day however you want, like in Animal Crossing, or fighting various enemies like in The Legend of Zelda. Truly the best of both worlds. Everdream Valley, with a 2023 release date, is a farming game with an art style that really reminds you of children's cartoons and captures a feeling of nature and country life. The back to nature comfy life is a common theme for farming games, but what makes this game unique is the animals. You can interact with all sorts of animals in ways never seen before in farming games. You can train and befriend your pets to help you complete quests and discover the secrets of Everdream Valley. You can even ride all sorts of animals, like pigs for example. The most interesting thing, however, is that with the help of a little magic, you can take over the bodies of your animal friends and play as them every night in your dreams. Every decision you make at this time affects your farm in the morning, so you'll need to be careful with your decisions. The fields are massive with grass that towers over you. There are meadows, forests, lakes, rivers with all sorts of secrets for you to discover. You can even build a treehouse if you want. This is probably the most freedom I've ever seen in a farming game. For years, I've always wanted a Stardew Valley / Story of Seasons style management sim game that focused on cooking instead of farming, and that game is finally here with Chef RPG releasing in the third quarter of 2023. Finally, a game that lets us do more with the cooking mechanics in these games. In Chef RPG, you are tasked with reviving Les Sequoia, a once famous restaurant in the beautiful seaside town, Ash Harbor. You can forage, fish, and even hunt for all the ingredients you need for your dishes, or you can just buy them if you want. The choice is yours. The game honestly reminds me a bit of Moonlighter, a roguelike game where you sell items in your shop during the day and explore dungeons at night looking for items to sell. This game, however, completely blows away with the depth of the shop experience and overall presentation. The pixel art style is absolutely beautiful, with an excellent blend of Western and Eastern styles, and the character designs are all very unique. There are so many designs I thought I would never see in a video game. As the name implies, this game has RPG elements, such as a skill tree with all sorts of abilities that will affect how you progress through the game. Chef RPG has its main storyline for you to play through, as well as multiple side quests for you to take. What kind of chef do you want to become? A chef known for being an adventurer that impresses his customers with rare ingredients? Or do you want to meet people and build connections over time? There are multiple restaurant types for you to choose from, and you control the hours. Do you want to run a breakfast diner, a sushi bar, or a high-end eating restaurant? The choice is yours. We've seen a lot of fantasy, but what if you want something a bit more sci-fi? Well, the space farming game Lonely Outpost is for you. Lonely Outpost, early access starting March 2023, takes place on a barren alien planet where you're tasked with building a community and a new life for yourself on your new home. You have two paths for how you can approach building your farm: naturalistic and synthetic. The naturalistic path is a traditional farming path that we are all familiar with. You take care of normal earth farm animals, who take longer to tend to because, of course, they aren't meant to live in space, but in exchange you'll get a ton of money for their natural produce. On the other hand, you have the synthetic path where you can splice your crops to all sorts of things such as jellyfish and microbes to make them more suited for living in space. Let's be honest, we're all going synthetic, right? I mean, who could pass up on that? Going down this route will earn you less money for your artificial produce, and it gives all your crops a very distinct look. As you build up your colony, more and more people will begin to join you, such as mechanics and engineers. There are even some who are exclusive to each path. Each of these characters have a unique background for you to learn about, and one of them might just be the special someone you spend the rest of your life with. The game has a bit of mystery to it as well. As you play through the game, you will uncover a set of ruins, and before you can proceed to the ruins, you will be tested. Pass, and you can learn more about the history of your new home and how it might play a role in your future as you progress. Roots of Pacha is a game I saw online years ago, and I've been anxiously waiting ever since. We will finally be able to experience the game in early 2023, and personally, I can't wait. The basic idea of this game is Stardew Valley meets the Flintstones. Yeah, that's right. It's a co-op farming and life sim game set during the Stone Age. In this game, you will discover, gather, and farm various vegetables and herbs, as well as explore your environment and domesticate the animals you see in the wilderness. I don't know about you all, but I've always wanted a pet woolly mammoth, and now I can. We can even race on birds. You can fish and mine in the game as well, and what kind of secrets does a mine hold? That's the question. Roots of Pacha is a sprite-based game with a ton of customization options. I also love how diverse the cast of characters are. As you play through the game, you will develop primitive technologies that completely change the world. You will learn to preserve food, metalworking, art, and many more as you play through the game. You can even invent new building types to expand your village. My question is, are we the cave person that invented the wheel? The people of your village are extremely close. You will get to know them so you can develop friendships and overcome hardships together. You can even invite people from other clans to join you, participate in festivals and rituals, and even get married once you find the right person. The first half of 2023 alone is extremely stacked with quality games, and that's only the tip of the iceberg. We've been looking ahead to 2023, but we still have plenty of 2023 releases to look forward to. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I still have plenty to share about games released this year, and my next video is going to cover one you might not even know about. See you next time.